Going live here. It is just past 8:30 in the evening. This is when I used to do quite a bit of live streams here at the 8:30 mark, so kind of restarting that time frame while I'm here in town. See what you've been up to today, share some of what I've been up to, and just enjoy the sights. Looks like there's a couple lifts on the bottom there by the overlaunch platform. Nice to see you here again. Good stuff, good stuff. So I got this shot so we can get a look, you know, I'm here to the right just so we don't have that light in our face here. And I'll possibly walk down the waves and get another angle there too. Hey, evening, Tom. I have it on members only. We've been getting some spam in the chat recently, so I've just been doing members only. I apologize for that. I like having an open chat. It's just getting the spam is not fun. So yeah, so there are a couple lifts there at the base of the overlaunch platform. Yeah, it's been a good day. I would have liked to be out here during the middle of the day, but I was doing some work on computers and stuff. I was going back and forth to the county to figure out if I could build anything on the property that I got, and it turns out it's an R2 property, so I could possibly build a hotel if I wanted to on the remote camera site. It's zoned for that kind of thing. I could do commercial or residential, and I could even build a hotel if I wanted to. So it's just good to know what you can do on the property that you own. So that's a good turn of events there. And I did a few other things, but this Thursday night, Thursday I'm going to meet with the attorneys, but Thursday night I've got a flight out to Oregon, so that actually did manifest. So I'll be going to do some work over there for until I think November 4th or the 8th, so about 7 to 10 days I'll be out in Oregon from the 27th or Thursday night through maybe the 8th or 9th of November. And then after that I'll be back here and doing videos. So this is going to help me make the money so that I can keep doing these videos. And I did reach out to those two people who have licensing agreements so that they can and use it as an Airbnb. That's awesome, Tom. Tom says build a house on the property and use it as an Airbnb. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's possible. So I reached out to those two people, there's two other YouTubers who have licensing agreements with Ocean Cam 2, and I gave them another free 6 months just because I'm here and I'm not here full time like I was planning to do. So you know, they're licensing when I'm not here as well, so it's good. A lot of good stuff happened today, so a lot of good stuff. I gave them an extra free month, 6 months on the two things. So if there's any space events going on out there in Portland, I'll try and get it on camera. I'll maybe get some new shots. If you live out in the Portland area, I think I'm going to Portland, Oregon, and I'll be there for a while, a week and a half. Starting, I'll get there Thursday night around 11 p.m. or 12. So it's going to be kind of late when I get there, but I'll be there for about 10 days, 9 maybe. We'll see. Yeah, send me a message if you live out there, you want to meet up for anything, maybe go get something to eat or drink something. I don't drink any alcohol, so it would have to be some type of celery or kale juice, or maybe some seltzer water. That's some good stuff. All right, back to the site here. We're here looking at the Starship 24 and the Booster 7. There was no road closure today. The road closure was canceled. So October 25th, 2022. It just passed it's probably around 8, let's see what time it is. It's about 8:39, 8:40 p.m. here Central Time in the year of 2022. I get some shots to the left as well. I have the iPhone plugged into my backup battery charger, so I'm not using the microphone right now. That's why it sounds a little bit different. You got more ambient background noise. But there are a couple trucks down the way offloading some air, some gases, some liquid fuel. And there's a good amount of trucks here on site. This morning there were, yesterday there were very few, as I recall. Okay, Carl says a lot of tanker deliveries today, but nothing else to speak of that I've seen. Okay, good stuff. Hey, Sodak, nice to see you. Awesome. Got a good crowd here tonight. To the right, there's not much to see on the right behind me. But there are more trucks parked here. Let me see. But Carl again said a lot of tanker deliveries today, but nothing else to speak of that I've seen. Okay, so tanker delivery day was today apparently. It looked like a hot day, but I was. Okay, that's another thing I did today is I went on LinkedIn and I reached out to, I think about 25 or so different people on LinkedIn. See if they want to join the board or become a team member here at OceanCam. And I have I've another 1,000 or 1,700 people to look through and see if I want to send them a message to. I'm planning to send out maybe 500 to 1,000 messages, invitations to chat, to speak about joining the board and the OceanCam thing. So I've done about 25 so far. I'm going to reach out to maybe 1,000, 1,500, 1,700 people on LinkedIn and just see what they're up to and see if they would, in the next 6 to 12 months, to join OceanCam here. Because I'm just kind of getting things a little bit in position for when I talk with the attorneys on Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Oh, okay. I gotta move the camera here. They wanted I had my camera in one of the parking spaces, so the guy wanted to use wanted me to move out of the way so he could put his vehicle in the space there. Good stuff. So I didn't understand what he was saying. Good stuff. Yeah, so that's it was good to get that underway. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that a lot more. So the initial conversation is just to see who would like to chat about being a board member or a team member, etc. And then after I chat with a whole bunch of people, I'll be able to be more selective and maybe go to further talks. There are different types of security offerings, and I have a list of them that I've, there's a short list of like 8 or 9 exempt security offerings. So that's what I'm looking at. And the question is, how much money should I raise? And should I there are only a few questions, and depending on the answers to those questions, then you determine what type of security offering you want to do. So one of these security offerings is like $5 million. Another one I think is around 20 something million dollars. Another one tops out at $75 million for exempt security offerings, for not having to do certain things. So that's I'm looking at one of those non-exempt, one of those exempt security offerings. I'm not sure how much. If you have any idea how much money I should attempt to raise by selling stock here at OceanCam, let me know. But depending on the answer, and then I can do, I think around for some of them you can do around 30 or 35 unaccredited investors, and the rest have to be accredited. On some of them, it's there's another one exempt security offering where you can just you can broadcast it to everybody, and it's a crowdfunding security offering. I'm not sure I'm going to do that one, maybe because of the limitation on the amount of money that you can raise. But I haven't made up my mind about anything like that. These are just some of the things I have to that I'm thinking about. If you have any experience with this type of thing, let me know. It's kind of a short list of maybe 5 or so different types of exempt security offerings, and depending on what you do, that governs how you can broadcast it to the world and who can invest. I have been speculating about tabulating who donated what over the years, and then giving maybe some shares or stock to those people based on the donations they've given in the past. So that's something I might do. I'm not sure if it'd be easy to do or if it'd just be more trouble than not. But that's one of the thoughts I have. One of the things I've learned I've also considered incorporating a second branch of OceanCam in Delaware. Because many of the top 500 Fortune 500 companies are out of Delaware. Even SpaceX, the private company, is located out of Delaware. So the same agent that collects all the SpaceX mail, the Little Falls or something, that's the address. They charge, I think, $250 or $300 a year to act as your agent, and then the registration with the state's like another $75 or something like that. And then you got to get an out-of-state corporation type thing. So it's a little bit of money, but it would be something that would benefit as far as raising money from different, so that's something I'm considering as well. So I had something else I wanted to say, but I got to think about it again. Yeah, kind of exciting. Yeah, if you have any experience with that type of stuff, and you have any thoughts about for the pre-seed or the seed round, how much to raise. Okay, I remember what it was. I looked at if I were to do $150 par value for the shares, so that's the minimum value that could be bought or sold. It's kind of interesting. If I were to do $150 per share at 100 million shares, that would immediately hit me with a $200,000 tax fee due to the I think to the state, because but that would only be if the company were worth at least a penny. If there were no assets to the company and I had a par value of $150 and 100 million shares, that would incur about $150 or $175 tax value. So if I created a whole new company out in Delaware with 0 assets, then it would incur only about $175 tax fee. But once that company had 1 penny in assets, then it would be $200,000 immediate tax bill. So if I were to go for the $150 valuation at 100 million shares, would be a $15 billion company valuation on the sale of the first stock, with a par value of 150, minimum sale price of $150. I would have to generate enough sales of shares to pay off the $200,000 balance there. So what I could do is I could do like a pre-sale, and with all sales occurring upon a certain amount of stock being sold, and then that would guarantee ability to pay off the $200,000 tax bill and also have some cash flow and some actual asset value. The maximum tax bill for a corporation out of Delaware is $200,000. So that's kind of interesting. If I wanted to shoot for that $15 billion valuation, I could do it, but I'd have to have the execution of the stock sales happen at a certain time, and the valuation would have to be $0 until such time as enough shares all together were sold at once. I don't know and that's due to I think some type of corporate tax or something like that. So I don't know if that's the same thing here in Texas, but I have to call the State Corporation Commission here in Texas and find out the answer to that. There's a tax calculator. If you look up I think it's called franchise. I don't remember the name of the tax, but it's for a long time. I met a guy here at SpaceX one time. He was a Russian gentleman, and Dmitry or something like that. He asked me to tell him when the launch was going to happen. So I would say maybe in December 5th or in December might be I would predict maybe the first launch would be in December. That was just because a couple of weeks ago, someone asked me while I was Michael with SpaceX is a photographer here at SpaceX, and he traveled here, and I've seen him a couple times, and we did another interview on camera. He asked me on camera, and I tuned in, did some kinesiology, and I got December 5th for the first launch. But so I met the Russian gentleman here, and he told me that you can't just create a high value stock and they're gonna hit you with some fees. So it seems like the fees that he were talking about, I found out what they were actually called recently, and they top out at $200,000. So. A year, $200,000 a year, everybody. It's not like a one-time thing; it's every year. So. I get on camera here too. It is somewhat of a windy night. There's also a bunch of water in the road here too. So, yeah. Holding the umbrella to keep the wind from hitting the mic. Pummel markers with Ocean Camera Space Corp. Yeah, I apologize for not doing the live streams during the daytime with the other camera, but I'm doing some of the legwork to keep moving the mission forward here, and it's inspiring for me to accomplish certain things and move the whole thing forward. So we're living in interesting times. Also I wanted to mention that we're past the new moon here, so and actually the good news cycle may have started yesterday, today, because because we're starting to get some good news out here. So you can maybe anticipate possibly some good news over the next 2 weeks in all the different news media and everything, outlets and everything like that. So I believe, once again, I believe they save all the good news for a 2-week period of time every month, and they, at least recently in the last few months, and they save all the bad news for the other 2 months so that they can create waves in the economy, in the financial system, so that they can profit off of the waves. If they time the good news and they time the bad news, then people get fearful in the bad news time, and they start selling, and the stocks starts going down, so they could short it or get some puts on the different stocks and make money that way than different news agencies. And then during the good news time, they can get calls or sell puts. You can sell puts and buy calls and sell puts, and they can maybe buy stock if they want to as well, and they profit on the way up as well. So looks like we got some helium coming in. I didn't make out what that was, but that's often a helium tanker there. Sometimes they have another fuel in there too. I saw them maybe have some liquid nitrogen in one of those one time too, one of those square sideways containers. I was starting to get some vehicles coming in, some interesting trucks coming in. Tom says, I know that Starship. Tom Ciccoli says, Ciccoli. I know that Starship is well in progress, but I was thinking today that we haven't seen any sort of crew access arm. Looking at the tower, can you envision where one would go? Crew access arm. Yeah, sometimes I look at that quick disconnect up there, or the chopsticks, I guess, the chopsticks. The chopsticks are somewhat like a crew access arm. If they were to put like a set of cross planks or something across those chopsticks, maybe they could have like a bridge going into the top of the Starship there. Yeah, but that's a great question. That's a great thing, Tom. Where would they have a crew access arm, right? Interesting. Almost like the quick disconnect moving to the side, but they're much higher up, huh? Unless they want to get in from the bottom, but they got to climb up they got to get above those Raptors, otherwise when it takes off, they're going to get toasted. Carl says, Carl West, when they know how to play it, they make money off of money they never had. Yeah, that's kind of a sketchy thing to do, Carl. Because although there are big players in the market, there are also other big players, and the other big players, when they decide to do something against you, they can still get you. Yep, but that's true. But in the times that we're seeing now, it's almost like the central bankers are collaborating, as Gregory Marino would say. Greg has said that the Fed and the other central bankers have said that they chat often, but they don't collaborate. Which is kind of funny. They don't coordinate. They don't coordinate, but they talk often. So if the different central bankers are going to be bailing each other, their own economies out and the other economies around the world out, then it's a better bet if they're making all the waves, that one of the other countries isn't going to make some waves that counter their direction of investment. You know, one of the more recent interesting things that Gregory has said came out of the Treasury was that they were going to be issuing bonds themselves, I think, and buying their own bonds. They were going to issue bonds and then buy their own bonds. So you could like write an IOU, and then you could create money on your computer and buy your own IOU. That would be like the Treasury creating its own fiat and buying its own bonds with the fiat that it just created. You know, kind of a circular liquidity creating cycle where someone, it's like instead of going to work, you just print the money on your computer, and you would use that money to buy bonds, which would come back to you. It's kind of interesting, pretty interesting. I'm a novice when it comes to that stuff, but I've been listening to it for a couple of years now, and it's becoming at least a repetitive pattern that I can see what some of the other people are saying about it. But if you want to learn more, I'd recommend check out Gregory Mannarino, his YouTube channel. Really great guy. He seems like he's saying a lot, but after you listen to him for a year or 2 years, what he says is kind of repetitive, but it is always to this situation of the day, and you start to hear the patterns of what he's saying, and then you pick it up yourself, and then you know, then you kind of understand what he's saying. Basically, what he says is as the dollar gets weaker, the stock market will go up, and that's because I've said this before. This is Gregory Mannarino's insight. The stock market is a derivative of the bond market, and as the dollar gets stronger, the equities which are priced in dollars will become less valuable because in fiat dollars. So a dollar in the stock market will buy you, if the dollar becomes stronger, the stock price will go down because the stock price has to maintain its value. You know, kind of interesting. And so as the dollar gets stronger, the stocks go down. As the dollar gets weaker against the relative to the other currencies, the stock gets as the dollar gets weaker, the stock price will go up. And the same way as the 10-year yield goes up, as it spikes, as people sell off the 10-year yield treasuries, the stock price will go down out of fear. And as the treasury interest rate goes down, then the stock prices will go up because there's less fear in the market. So then you got when you combine the two, when you got the dollar getting weaker and the bond market going down, then you got stocks skyrocketing. Stocks will skyrocket when that happens, because as the dollar again, a double whammy of the dollar getting weaker and the bond market going down due to less fear, then the stocks go up. And that's the main premise of Gregory Mannarino's teaching. You call it a teaching if you want. He's a Mason, so that was his first thing. He's also he used to be in the medical field as well. So I've done a lot of occult in my early days of out-of-body experience. I did a lot of occult reading from Leadbeater and Ouspensky, Gurdjieff, and many other writers and people of the early 1900s and some of the other ages. So I'm familiar with the occult information, and Gregory Mannarino is a Mason. He's one of those, I don't know his degree, but so he's also a medical person and a Mason. I've been a search tech, and I also have some of that medical stuff in my background. Hey, Sir Chris. Yep, everybody. Yep. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know what other shots we can get. I can walk to the left here. We'll get a shot of the pad A, I guess. I haven't gotten any shots of the Starship 25 over there. It is over there. Hey, Sir Chris. Yep. That is the booster 8. I'll get a shot. I'll move over to the left about 400 or 500 feet and get some shots, better shots than I'm getting now. Let me just get a little quick shot here, and then I'll move. All right, I'm gonna raise up the thing. We're gonna take a little walk to the left here, like 30 seconds. Here we go. It's gonna be a nice shot here. Just a minute. Okay, not too bad. This is gonna have to be it. Yeah, just a minute. All right, here we go. Okay, good stuff. After this, I can walk a little bit more to the left and get a double booster shot. Nice. Oh, well, yeah. Wow. So I updated my LinkedIn profile. The company was founded in September 28th, I think it was, 2021. It was 27th or 28th. I think it was the 28th. You can get the Bolton shop, says Sir Chris, huh? Double booster, nice. A double booster, oh, interesting. What shop are you talking about, Sir Chris? Yeah, I guess people do some 3D printing of the boosters here. MT shot. Yeah, I might walk back after this and get another shot from the side there of the tower. We'll be able to get a good shot. The one I usually get by the orbital tank farm. That'll be a nice shot. I'll do that tonight too. Yeah, so I usually do a live stream around 8:30 when I'm here on site. So that's why I started at 8:30 Central Time. Starship 25. Yeah, if you know where Elon is, let him know that Phidias is trying to meet up with him at the main gate here, trying to give him a hug. Check out Phidias on YouTube. I should be able to get both boosters in one shot. Yeah, okay, I'll do that when I walk further toward the tank farm. I'll give that a shot. Thanks, Sir Chris. Oh, interesting. In the community chat here, there is a post of a map for members of the Boca Chica village. I went out to the county license and permit office and engineering licensing and permitting. So I got that map from there, and then I was able to look to see if there were any restrictions on the property that I have for the remote camera site. So that's why I got that plot, the subdivision plot of the Boca Chica village. I got two different plots. One was because I got 2 lots over there at one in Boca Chica village and the other at the remote camera site. So I got 2 lots, and so that's why I got 2 different subdivision pictures. But I posted the one of Boca Chica, and so there used to be many roads in Boca Chica before, I guess there was some type of hurricane or something. It swept away a lot of the land and everything else. But there are currently 2 roads. You got the Weems, and there is another road there as well, which is paved. And they are, in my last update I did there, rebuilding, it looks like, 2 of those other roads. And there's actually, I think, 8 or 9 roads originally in Boca Chica. And that map there in the community section displays some of the previous names of the roads and everything else. So kind of interesting to see. Those other roads are now below the high tide. They're swept under the when it goes high tide, that stuff goes underwater. A while back I did a video of all that water covered area. I was able to walk out on top of it one time because it was so dry for a long time. So all that water had disappeared, and all that land on the Boca Chica plot subdivision map was above ground, was above the water, and so that stuff is still there. Those roads still exist. I mean, you can't see the roads, but if they were to be surveyed again, they could see where the roads should be. And many property owners own land in that area north of Boca Chica, which is currently, most of the time, or half the time at least, underwater. And the assessed value of those lots is $200. So if you were able to contact some of those owners of the property over there north of Boca Chica village, on some next to on some of those old roads, blocks, I think the correct word is blocks, you could maybe convince them to sell it to you for $350 and maybe buy 2/10 of an acre at SpaceX. I think the law in Texas is if the boundary of the property and the property itself gets submerged underwater, the title leaves for the period of time where it's underwater. It's no longer yours or something like that. But then once it becomes above water, then it becomes back into your possession. So if you were able to buy one of those lots and maybe add a foot or 2 of soil or a bunch of stones, then it would always be above the water, and then it would always stay in your, it would always be good to go at your property. I don't know, I'm not an attorney or anything like that, but I read a little bit of the wording on that one time. That's what I seem to recall. It's getting late. I'll be here at this spot for maybe a couple more minutes, and then I'll walk to the left and get some other shots. If I had 2 phones, I could do the phone call-in open lines, do open lines. Or if I had my laptop computer here, but anyway. So hopefully things are going good for you. I posted a video this morning. I don't know if you saw that video by Dr. Joseph Dispenza. I've known about him for a while. I haven't really watched a lot of his videos or read his books or anything, but he is connected. He knows about the astral projection and the out-of-body states and all that stuff, the source. He's a very knowledgeable person. And I just kind of, I guess YouTube suggested one of his videos again to me. I think it was yesterday or this morning. And I watched it for the first time and like, man, that's some really good stuff. So I did share it in as suggested in the community chat area. Dr. Joe Dispenza, you might watch that, if you haven't seen it already, that video that he did. I actually downloaded it onto my phone as well to be able to re-listen and re-watch it over and over. It's good to hear different people come up with different variations on some of the concepts that you come up with yourself. This would be a good picture, Sir Chris. Oh, maybe that other one with the two boosters. Yeah, I don't know. So the word here in the chat was that there was a lot of trucks coming in and out today, but nothing else really happened on site. Was the summary a little bit of that, at least here at the launch site. This one's good too. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks. Yeah, I think this is kind of a pretty good shot. Okay, I'm gonna walk to the left here. There's a tanker coming by. Maybe I'll wait for him to pass us and then I'll move the camera. Okay, here we go. I'm right next to the Lat Padre camera, so I'm not going to stay here. I think we got a good shot. Maybe just briefly I'll get this shot, and then I'll move a little bit further to the left. I'll walk a little bit more to the left and it'll be easier to get that shot. Let me get it once more from a little bit further to the left here. That's almost the best that I can do right now. We got the 2 boosters in the shot. That's what I've been working on here. If we get another Starship on that other one, that'd be on the right there. Booster 8 with a Starship 25 on it. That would be kind of something. Carl says the tower lights, red means no entry, yellow means essential personnel only, green is all clear, blue is lightning phase 2, and white is high. It's so red no entry, yellow essential personnel only, green all clear. So let's get a shot. We got some yellow lights here. So essential personnel only, basically what's going on. We got some yellow lights there. I believe that's yellow. Oh, white is high winds. I got you. So white is high winds. So we got, I believe we have some yellow lights here. Essential personnel only. Thanks, Carl. Awesome information. We got a yellow light right there. And white over there too on the side. I don't know if those two whites are indicating high winds, but maybe that's what those white ones on the side mean. These, I'll use my hand. These two over here might be the white lights that it's referring to, and then that other one over there is the yellow one. But these ones, I believe, are white. That might be for the high winds, and we got another white one on top there. On the right, we got the white one up there too. There's a yellow light there on the top as well, in the center. Up there's a yellow light. Oh, not the side lights? Okay. Okay, it'd have to be a flashing light, not like those solid white lights on the right. Okay, there is a blinking white light halfway down. Let me get that shot there. Beneath those two white lights on the right, there is another blinking white light. Right over there. Does that count as a white light? Good stuff. Nope, doesn't count. Extra Chris. Alright, so these colored lights have to be along the center of the tower here, is what some of the gentlemen here are saying. And we're seeing, I'm seeing the yellow flashing light right there, and there's another one here and another one on the top. So, essential personnel only. Okay, so sometimes they have a couple different lights too, says Carl. So red again is no entry, yellow is essential personnel only, green is all clear, and blue is lightning phase 2, and white is, I guess, high wind. Good stuff, guys. So over here at the base of these orbital tank farm, we got some green lights. So this is all clear here at the, this is all clear, and there's another green light over here. So that area is all clear. Sometimes we get some red lights over there. So that's kind of neat to understand what they're talking about there with these lights. Carl says those are methane sensor lights besides the pump. Green is safe, red is above 5% methane in the air. Oh wow. Now I've seen over here, I've seen some red lights here at the tank farm. I don't think they keep any methane over here in this area though, so if there is some methane, it must be coming from the, you know, they do vent the methane from the right here. I guess sometimes they vent it from this area over here. They vent the methane, so maybe it floats to the left here and we start getting the red lights over here, you know. Interesting, Carl. You know, I don't believe they offload any methane over here. Is it possible that some of the green and other sensor lights over here are relevant to the gases or the liquids that they're pumping out? Because if this is a, I think that, what does that say? I think that might say oxygen. Yeah. No, that's, what does that say? I can't read it. I don't know what kind of tanker that is. Let me see if I can get it. I think that's nitrogen. I think that says nitrogen. Anyway. Yeah, nitrogen. That's a, so if that's a nitrogen tanker, are these the green light behind that gentleman over there? Is that a sensor? Is that still a methane sensor? Or is that a oxygen sensor or is that a nitrogen sensor? Carl says it takes 5% to 15% methane to be combustible. Below 5% and above 15% it will not combust. So below 5 or above 15. So between 5 and 15 it's combustible, huh? Wow. But within 5 to 15% it's dangerous. Wow. Methane. Wow. There was a question in the comments on some of the video from yesterday. Someone asked, how do you make large-scale quantities of methane? I didn't look up the answer to that question, but if anyone here, if you know the answer to that, how is methane produced? I mean, I can imagine some good answers to that, but how is large-scale methane produced? Because this person was talking about using it for a vehicle, running their car or automobile on methane. Methane is CH4, right? Got 1 carbon and 4 hydrogens, so but I don't know how it's made. Yeah, I'm going to wind this down, I think, in the next 2 minutes. Yeah, Sir Chris says they only pump liquid oxygen and nitrogen here, and the methane just past the gate. Yeah, that's true. They park the helium containers here as well, and they also pump water here as well. Yeah, okay, so Carl says those are the methane pumps in front of us. These things here that we're looking at in this area here, where all the methane pumping happens. I guess I can get a shot of the base of the orbital launch platform. We got a good shot of it right here. Carl says the pipes have a yellow methane label as well. Wow, I didn't know that. I haven't used my Nikon camera out here to get that shot. Since I'm not live streaming with it right now, I should. I've been thinking about taking it out of the remote camera holder and starting to get some shots on the fly around the site here. Oh, look at that. They're doing some welding on the tower there. I hope someone's welding on the tower. If that's happening without anyone welding, that'd be an issue, huh? Got some plasma torch coming out of the tower there, or something's happening. Cutting, yeah. Carl says rear pump and cryo pump driven by U.S. Motors electric motors. Okay, Carl says they build those pumps just 30 miles from his house in Tulsa. Awesome. You know, I almost ended up going to Tulsa, to Oklahoma this weekend to do some work over there, but they decided to go to Oregon instead. Carl says the loading docks are inside of D2, gate D2, the main gate. The pumps are in front of us. Okay, good stuff. There's a series of books, of videos. I used to watch some Netflix here and there. It was called The Warehouse. I forgot there's a number after The Warehouse, but they used to find different artifacts around the globe here on the planet. It was like a fictional TV series. And it was about finding these different artifacts that, which were imbued with different forces and powers and stuff. Good TV show. Well, they're starting to get more active here on the site. I'm going to spend a little bit more time here than I was thinking about. I was thinking about ending it, but I'm going to get a little bit more time here. They're starting the night shift or something's happening right now. see at the base of the booster there too, they're doing some work on a lift up there. They're working on a quick disconnect too, huh? Let me get a shot of the looks like a lift. They're doing something. Yeah. Yeah, maybe they were waiting for the wind to calm down, you know? That's maybe what they were, because we had a really windy day today. Even tonight it's been pretty windy, but it's even calmer than when I started the live stream an hour and 17 minutes ago. It's worth mentioning that one of the biggest companies in the United States has been the company called BlackRock. And BlackRock actually filed for bankruptcy earlier this year, so or restructuring or whatever. I think it was bankruptcy. So Benjamin Fulford came out with that information last week on Monday. So we are seeing some big changes in the financial structure and the different power, some big power moves happening here in the United States and around the globe and in the financial system. So just keep an eye on that, you know. And BlackRock going bankrupt, you believe that? So you know, I'll leave it here. I'll leave the video, well, I'll do a few more shots, and then kind of cool to watch that happen. Yeah, that looks like a plasma torch, everybody. They use those torches to cut the booster, one of the other booster sections. I think it was booster 4, they cut it up over there on pad A. It used to be sitting on pad A, and they lifted it up and they cut it piece by piece to that's a pretty awesome piece of equipment. Right. Okay, I'm gonna say goodnight here. Got some good shots tonight. I've enjoyed watching this, chatting. Sweet dreams. Yep. Plasma cutter is the best I've used for cutting stainless steel, says Carl. Yeah, that's a thick piece of tower or something over there, Sir Chris. Alright, good stuff. Yep. Good night, everybody. Yep. Good day to you. Good night, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. Wish you the best. We're all connected. And signing out. Another day. We gotta enjoy another day here. Good stuff. Be well.